is our 9 o'clock midweek. We're crazy and we're making macarons. Macarons.
Yes, macaron.
Macaron.
Mm-hmm.
You know macaron
this?
making? Say hello. You know who that is. Who is that, honey?
I have no idea. Is that Cheech and Chong? Who is that, Stephen?
Cheech and Chong.
What is that? And why do you have him in my video?
He's our macaron mascot for tonight.
Who is he? Arnold
Really?
Palmer?
No. Nice try. This is actually, let me give you a hint.
Yes.
Oh, look at that
Hurry
hat,
up
though.
with your hint.
Oh, look at that hat, though. You get a free bowl of soup, you get a hat like that?
Yes.
Looks good on you, though.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. Okay, you didn't ask me. This is like my least favorite person, and I don't want him.
You don't know who this is.
Yes, I do. That Doofenshmirtz from whatchamacallit movie.
This is, first of all, he was in Mary Tyler Moore Show. He's an American treasure. His name is Ted Knight. Okay. A little respect for the late great Ted Knight. Okay. In this case, I didn't
choose him to be my mascot.
In this case, he's playing the role of Judge Smales from Caddyshack. There you go. Anyway, macarons. Also mentioned in Pokemon, Victini.
Are you going to stop talking?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, perfect. Okay, we're going to make macarons. Now, are you going to comment and pin the comment, please? All right.
How do you spell it?
Okay.
Macaron. C has a little thing on it, right?
No, there's no thing. Just write macarons and pin it.
I'm trying, baby. I'm trying. Just relax. Take it easy.
My temperature's going up here while you're busy.
Okay, let's do it. I don't know. Okay, pin comment. Let's go. We're done. Let's go.
All right. Don't get so close to my face.
Wow.
Okay.
Rude. Don't you think so, Judge Smith?
No. Stop with the mascot, please. All right. I've got to explain things tonight.
Do it.
The macarons are very detailed, and I've got to explain things without you constantly talking.
Do it.
All right. Fine.
Do it.
All right. Tonight we're doing the Italian method for macarons. Okay? There's commonly used French method, which is a French meringue. A French meringue is a simple meringue where you beat egg whites with sugar till stiff peaks. You've got your French meringue. It's not considered the most stable of meringues, but it's the easiest. Okay? All right. Then you've got the other more popular, not more popular, but also popular method of doing it is the Italian meringue method, where we're going to make a syrup, which is what I'm working on right now, a sugar syrup that reaches 248 degrees. We quickly pour that into our mixing egg whites or beating egg whites. So we're partially cooking the egg whites so we get a more stable meringue. Italian meringue is considered the most stable meringue.
Italian meringue is the most stable.
It's the most stable.
And they make macarons with Italian meringue.
Well, it's probably split. People do both. Now, my friend Debbie told me recently that Hi, Debbie. That people are doing it with the Swiss meringue method, which I've never used.
That sounds insane.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Which I've never used before, but I make sure. Okay. Nothing serious from our kids.
Okay.
All right. And then, so the Swiss meringue, we're not talking about macarons, we're talking about Swiss meringue. Swiss meringue method, you heat up the sugar and the egg whites together. You're not really cooking the egg whites because you're just getting it to 140. And so you're basically just dissolving the sugar and slightly heating the egg whites. So that's more commonly used in the Swiss meringue buttercream.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, out of the two that is most commonly used, the French meringue method or the Italian meringue method for macarons, I prefer the Italian meringue. Mm-hmm. It's much more reliable. It's much more consistent for me. The results for the macarons are much more consistent. Let me just check my temperature here and turn it up just a titch.
What do we want the temperature at? Just so
okay. Well, let me finish saying this part and then I'll say this part, okay? And then because the meringue itself is much more stable, like we said, we get more consistent results with our macarons.
Gotcha.
Okay. So here's
Shane
what
Ritz, you listening to this? You're going to get some good macarons.
Shane is going to learn macarons.
Shane is like Kurt Thomas.
And I didn't say hi to Mindy. Hi, Mindy.
And Sergeant Goodmine, who's a friend of mine from New York.
Yes, hi.
Yeah. And Shane is obviously just like a guy who could kill me. He's my dear friend's youngest son, and he's like an acrobat. He can flip in the air 20 times. He's crazy.
Okay, but we gotta just like focus on this for a little bit. I told you there's a lot of details. You need to not talk so much tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I'm not talking.
Okay, we've sifted. I did some things ahead of time to save time so there's not dead time on the video. I've sifted the almond flour with the powdered sugar, and this is what we call a tant pour tant.
Tant pour tant. You hear that, Tooth Pharaoh? He's on.
Okay.
That's how.
Tant per tant means same for same, basically. So the amount of powdered sugar and the amount of almond flour is the same.
Gotcha.
All right. So just so you guys know out there, I used to try grinding my own almond flour. I used to like sift multiple times, but recently there's a lot of companies producing really fine almond flour, so I only sift once now. And so I actually get like a 5-pound bag, 3-pound bag from Costco. It's very fine almond flour, so I only sift once. Okay.
You don't need to give shout outs.
Okay.
Right, Judge Smales?
Could you stop?
Yeah.
All right. Now here, like I said, we're making a syrup. Okay. And we have got sugar, granulated sugar, and water in this syrup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
that's called simple syrup, right?
well, yeah, but a simple syrup is technically 50-50, but yes, you can call it a simple syrup.
But
okay?
this is what percentage?
It's, let's see, we've got 118 grams of sugar, and we've got 79, so it's 1 to 2.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's different
right?
than different than a simple sugar.
Not quite 1 to 2.
But
all right, don't make me do math.
Yeah,
right now.
you'll put
okay.
You'll put that in the
yes.
notes.
Yes, Stop talking.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the thing that really makes this different. I'm sorry, I'm just keep checking this temperature. I've got my egg whites here, but I've got about half the egg whites here. It's just egg whites.
Ooh. And this looks like it's getting to a little boil.
All right. Okay. So I've got half the egg whites here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I've got 45 grams of egg whites here. And I am going to do another 40 grams of egg whites in with my almond flour and my powdered sugar. That's the Italian meringue macaron method.
Gotcha.
All right. So what we're doing here is I'm getting this temperature up. I started it before we started filming.
Mm-hmm.
Once it gets to 225, it doesn't have to be exact, but once it gets to about 225, 230, I'm going to start beating my egg whites. I need them to kind of simultaneously come together at the right time. So I need my egg whites to get to soft peaks at about the same time that this gets to 248.
That sounds maddening
Well,
to me.
I know this is why people don't like this method, but really it's worth it because it gives you consistent results.
Okay.
Okay.
Consistent results meaning no
Macarons,
cracks,
right.
good feet.
Right.
These are terms that I've learned.
Right. The meringue is stable, and so it gives me consistently good results. Okay. All right. So we're almost there, and I'm going to, after like a few seconds, I'm going to start beating these egg whites, and I want, like I said, to get them to soft peaks, which I'll show you. Mm-hmm. If they get to soft peaks and too early and this is not quite ready, that's okay. Don't stress. What we'll do is we'll turn down the mixer to just stir, to keep it stirring.
Okay.
But we don't want to keep going to stiff peaks.
So you're not doomed if it doesn't all come together at the same time.
Right, we're not doomed,
Okay.
but we do have to be careful and watch our temps. So I'm just going to turn it up now that we're ready to go.
And we're at 223 right now. We're going to go to 224, 225.
It, like I said, doesn't have to be absolutely exact.
Okay.
All right, so
I like that. Now I'm not going to be able to hear you. I'm not going to be able to hear you because of the mixer. So if you want to talk loud.
I'm not going to have it full.
This is going to go for how long is the mixing going to be?
Well, I'm going to turn up the temp a little bit.
Okay.
So we can get to 248 a little bit faster now.
What are we looking to get it to? 2 what?
248.
248.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
248, and we need this at soft peaks.
Soft peaks?
This is not peaks at all.
248.
Yeah, this is not peaks
I know, that's what we're looking for. And we have a special guest, Judge Smales. Hello, Judge.
I don't want him here next
I
time.
like him.
All right, so let me tell you about my coloring, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so...
Can we move away from the mixer?
Yeah, we can move away from the mixer. All right, sorry.
Talk to me, darling.
Okay, sorry. All right, so, I got some on my hands already.
Good stuff.
All right, so I love this. You can't see the label very well, but this is Master Elite Colors from the Sugar Art. Mm-hmm. I love the Sugar Art powders for my dark colors, blues, greens, purples. I love this powder.
Okay.
I can use Americolor gel for like my pastels, yellow, pink. That's fine, Americolor gel. But I never.
Brights.
Yeah, I never get anything better than this.
Okay.
So we don't need very much. That's the other nice thing.
Right.
It's so concentrated. Actually, what I'm using here is maybe like a 1/16 of a teaspoon.
Okay.
All right. And because I don't really want the dark blue today anyway.
That's not a lot at all. Oh yeah, it's getting close. All right, so we got.
How would you know it's getting close?
Well, because I see it's white. It's not clear anymore. So anyway,
Okay.
what I'm saying is, what we got is our simple. It's not really simple sugar. It's
Okay. So
all
while
right.
we're waiting for that,
Yes.
what we're going to do is we're going to add our other 40 grams of egg whites
Mm-hmm.
to this.
Yes, dear. Let's do it.
And this is at room temperature. That's very important. Please don't talk. Just be quiet. The egg whites have to be at room temperature. Okay. Thank you for not talking for a second.
And
We're getting close.
the next step.
Yeah, we're almost there.
And how do you check the soft peaks for that?
You just look at them.
You just look at the soft peaks.
Yeah, so
right
actually-
now there's no peaks.
No, they're getting there. They're getting close to soft peaks.
Okay. And this is getting close to the temperature we need.
Right. So now you cannot talk to me when I'm pouring the syrup because it's going to be super hot, and if you distract them and get mad.
Like you can't walk and chew gum, right?
No, like this is hot syrup, and you cannot talk to me. I'm going to mix this up really quick. This is going to be
Slave driver, this one. Oh, look at her. She's.
All right, we're good.
Okay, I'm going to be
Now,
quiet.
we're at 248, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to... All right, come here. You got to see this.
Okay.
So we're just going to hang it off the lip. And then once it's all added in, we're going to turn it up.
So how long do we do this?
We're going to do it for about 5 minutes. So this is not hot. This is right now piping hot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I'll set my timer for 5 minutes so I don't lose track. And then we can move over here for a second.
Yeah. let's
We're
get
going to mix this
out
into...
of that noise while we're standing having it. Okay, go ahead.
We're just mixing this into our paste. So this is our 40 grams of egg whites.
And this is where we're going to get our color, right? Obviously, because you put the color in here.
Right.
All right. Look at that. There's some craziness there. I like that color. It's like a turquoise. Yeah?
It's called turquoise waters.
Oh, well then, I'm right on with the turquoise description, because it's turquoise. All right. And then you're going to, my guess is then you're going to keep mixing that and then mix that into that.
This is going to get folded into this.
Fold it.
And that's called the macaronage.
Macaronage.
Right. So when we start folding it, that's called the macaronage, and that's where the other critical part that we have to get perfect.
May I say kind of like a massage for macarons? Can I say that?
Sure.
Macaronage. Then we also, what did we do with our puff pastry? A frossage.
No, that wasn't the puff pastry.
Oh.
That was the pâte sucrée.
And what was it?
Anyway, can you see if
Was
we
that
have
a
any?
frossage?
So it's cooling down.
Macarons are very tough. I think.
They're finicky. They're not tough. They're finicky.
Finicky. Gotcha.
Which reminds me. Okay, so I'm about to turn on the ovens. Okay, and this is the other critical part that you need to pay attention to.
Yes.
This is what's going to trip people up. Your temperature that is perfect for you depends on your oven. It's not the same right temperature for everybody.
I don't understand what that means, but
Okay, we'll talk about it more in a minute.
okay. It sounded very weird.
All right,
Like you do your temperature type thing.
I was just checking on this. Okay. Books will say bake your macarons at 320. Bake your macarons at 325. I spent like a whole year just trying to figure out the temperature that worked perfectly for my oven. And for me, it's 315. 315 degrees convection. It has to be convection. Now that I will say across the board is the case. Okay?
Always use convection.
Yes. Yes. Because without the convection setting, your macarons will not have feet. Okay?
You can't say that always, can you?
I mean, if you have a commercial oven,
then you're fine.
I don't know. Like, I think Stella Parks used to say she didn't use the convection setting, but she was in a commercial oven.
Okay.
Brave Tart.
We are using.
So if you're at home, put your convection setting on, or you're never going to see feet on your macarons.
Yeah.
So I think we're done. We've got a nice stiff meringue. Come over here.
All right. This is the Italian meringue. Oh, thank goodness.
What?
We turned the mixer off.
Well, hang on. I just got to go.
Look at that. Oh. Kids are sleeping.
Well,
kids are
sorry.
sleeping.
I have to get every last bit. All right. Okay.
Now.
Stiff meringue.
Yes.
Stiff meringue.
Woo!
Okay.
Action cam.
All right. Now,
All
you
right.
don't have to be as desperately in distress right now, but we've got our meringue, we've got our almond flour, powdered sugar, color, and egg whites, and now we're going to fold one into the other, and we're going to do it a little bit at a time. So,
you know how I know the concept of folding? I'm just going to tell you from I make guacamole, great guacamole. I make great guacamole. Okay. You know I do.
All right. So anyway,
wow,
all right,
not a good
honey, please be quiet.
Go ahead.
All right. So we are going to fold this in, but this is not a gentle fold like you're making a Genoese cake. Okay. This is a pretty aggressive fold. We are deflating the air out of the meringue, which sounds counterintuitive because we spent all that time. But what we were doing in there, we were strengthening the bonds in the meringue to create a very strong meringue. But we need to get the air out now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're further.
So just watch.
Yeah,
okay.
I will watch. Can I just say something while you're folding?
Go ahead.
You're further going to get the air out when you slam the pans.
The pans.
Yes.
All right. So this is how. Stephen, be quiet.
Okay, go.
You just made me lose my temper on live video. Okay. All right. Okay.
You're a brute.
All right. So the Italian meringue is very stiff. You're going to find it different than the French meringue method. You have to be a little bit more delicate with the French meringue. You have to kind of be pretty aggressive with this. So what I do is I push it up the sides of the bowl and then gather it up. Okay? So I'm taking the air out of the meringue.
Mm-hmm. And then you're adding a little meringue at a time, right? Not
I'm doing it in
obviously.
thirds.
Okay.
Well, almost thirds. Okay. Then, again, fold it in, fold it in, fold it in, fold it in. Then push it up against the sides of the bowl and gather it up again. Okay? Push it up against the sides of the bowl. Okay? We're going to add the rest.
Filming with my wife is she likes silence while she cooks.
Well, I'm beating the macarons here. The macaronage.
Right. Macaronage.
Okay, now we're going to check it. Okay?
Okay.
And what we're looking for, they call it a lava-like ribbon. You can call it that.
Any chance of cooking the egg whites when putting in the hot syrup?
Well, you're not cooking them because...
That was Debbie. Like if you put
No. You're not cooking them because you're doing what? You see how we did that before where we kind of hung it off the lip?
Right.
And then we made a stream.
So it was going down the cool bowl and what?
No. Just be quiet.
Okay.
Stream, a very slow stream of syrup.
Okay.
So it wasn't poured on there and cooked it.
Gotcha.
We were introducing it very slowly. Okay. Now, let's check.
I like the way you enunciate when you're upset. Cooked it.
Shh.
Okay.
Okay, now look. This, no, not ready yet. It's clumpy. Okay? So here we go.
E.E. Sweets said so relaxing to watch.
Pushing it up against the sides of the bowl. Taking away the air. And then gathering it up and checking again. Okay? And check.
Yeah.
Close.
Hi, Jackie.
Close. Hi, Jackie. Close. We're almost there.
Yes.
So, one more time.
And we're taking the air out. Which,
Okay,
as you
and
said,
then-
is counterintuitive, but it makes sense.
Okay. Now let's check.
And what are you looking for exactly?
This lava-like ribbon. Actually, I'm going to give it one more. So push, 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 and then gather it up. All right, now let's check. Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's like a
Yes.
Mount Vesuvius texture right there,
Okay,
isn't it?
that's good. That's good. Now, I don't like to get it too runny because that's perfect. Because we're going to put it in there and then we're going to squeeze it, so we don't need to make it overly runny because we're about to put more pressure on it.
Gotcha.
Okay? Now, my part of my mise en place is that I have my measuring cup ready. I'm happy
we're
before
back.
you drive everybody
We're
crazy
back.
with the ridiculous mascot that I didn't invite to the party.
Okay, well, I give you advice.
Quiet. Now.
I really like this.
You like it.
Go ahead.
All right. My piping bag, my tip, pushed it in there so it doesn't leak out, my cup. I'm not going to fill it with all the batter. I want to be able to control it, okay? So I'm going to pour some of this in here and you see it flows, okay? Okay. Now, any questions before we move on?
When I pipe my macs, they seem a little runny.
Okay.
Do I overmix?
You have overmixed. Who is
Yes.
this, Debbie?
E.E. Sweets.
Okay, so E.E. Sweets. Go err on the side of too stiff of a batter rather than too runny, okay? You cannot do anything with too runny, okay? But you can still deal with a macaron that's a little bit on the stiff side, a macaron batter that's a little bit on the stiff side. You will get probably some air bubbles. That's okay. That's better than runny macs.
Right.
Now let me show you what this should look like. Okay. So.
You're welcome, E.E. Sweets. Okay.
All right. So now we've got these. This is my preferred lining for the pans. If you don't have silicone or Silpat, it's okay. You can use parchment. I just have come to prefer these because they give me a more even macaron. Okay. Now, if you don't have them, use parchment. It's fine.
But these are available, pretty readily available.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I mean, why not? If you're gonna make macarons, do it.
Okay. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Exactly. Now we want to really pay attention to this part because the piping is important. All right.
Gotcha.
I like my macarons on the smaller side, and so I'm going to go for the smaller circle. Okay. And
The solid circle as opposed to the...
yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. Okay, that's enough zooming in on that. Okay. Now, let's say you don't have the pictures. You can, the ones with the circles, you can trace your own circles on the back of a parchment paper with pencil using a cookie cutter, flip it over. Let's say you don't do that either. You can count 1, 2, 3, stop, which I did a lot of. I still do it actually. All right, here we go. So, 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. I guess you want me to stop.
I like you do that little flick at the end where you say 3 and then you kind of twist. There's the twist right there. Now you're counting to yourself. You're counting in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's radio silence. People want to hear you say 1, 2, 3, stop.
1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop.
En français?
1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop.
En français, s'il vous plaît.
En français, 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, parar. واحد
Edge kept the harem halt.
Ooh, I got a little stripey on that one.
Oh, wow.
1 2 3 أقف.
Oh.
In edge.
Edge kept the harem.
Edge katum harum. Okay. That was like 4 or 5 languages.
1, 2, 3. What else? You said 1, 2, 3. All right,
we're going to stop just so we can talk for a sec.
Yes.
All right, now here's the part you hate.
Yeah.
I have
yeah. This I made her.
Okay.
Let's can I just say?
Yeah, you can say, but I'm going to warn you that I'm going to have to do it in here. I'm not going in the garage.
Okay. I used to make my wife go to the garage to do this because it used to make me jump off of the chair I was sitting in because she would do it without warning, and this is why I don't like macarons. I do like eating them, but I don't like the whole preparation.
I have to do this now before you go on with your lecture.
Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
I don't want any more of that. I don't.
I'll do the other ones in the garage. This one was just for show.
Okay? That's ridiculous. But that gets out all the air bubbles, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm. One more.
Oh no! Let me.
Oops, that's
Stop
it. Okay, we're done.
That's it.
All right, now.
Nut job.
Shh! Please don't call me a nut job.
Okay.
All right, I'm sweating. These macarons still make me nervous after 5 years of doing them and probably 200 batches.
Yes.
Okay. What we're going to do now is these are going to rest for about 30 minutes. It's humid today, so I think we're going to need 30 minutes to rest them. And then after the resting period, I'll show you what they should look like when they're ready to bake. Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to set the oven for 315 convection. I need it to heat up at least 30 minutes. Typically, I would do it about 45 to an hour, but half an hour is minimum. And then we'll come back, show you what they're supposed to look like when they're ready to bake.
Gotcha.
Okay, any questions before we sign off?
Any questions till we come back in 30 minutes? We'll be back to put them in the oven in 30 minutes.
We'll just give people a second to see if there's any.
But let me ask you this. When they go in the oven, how long do they go in the oven for?
Good question.
Yeah, that is a great question.
So I actually will do 13 to 14 minutes. After taking copious notes, I've discovered that 13 minutes with a very pale color or no color is plenty. 14 minutes for my darker colors, maybe 15 minutes for my reds. The reason is obviously the darker colors need to be baked longer. It's better to err on the side of slightly overbaked, so an extra minute is better than 1 less minute, because you will find holes and your macarons will be hollow if they're not properly cooked. They'll the inside will lift and then it will sink.
And then it'll just be a hollow shell.
Yes.
And that's not what you want in a macaron.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. So I'd rather you go 14, 15 minutes and it'll be a little bit too crisp. So we're going to sign off. Well, any other questions?
We're coming back in 30 minutes?
30 minutes, because I need to rest these for 30 minutes, pipe the rest of them, turn on the ovens.
Okay. So we're going to say goodbye for now. We'll be back in 30 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm going to get scolded for interrupting her and for bringing him up. Say goodbye, Judge Smales. I'm sure we won't see you again.
Be quiet.
We're now live. Okay, we're back a little later than we thought.
Yes, a little later than we thought.
Thank you, Florida. Right?
Right. So the reason is because I checked the macarons at 30 minutes. They still were not ready to bake, and I'm going to show you how I know that. So it's a little bit more humid today. I had to open the windows and get some cooler air in here.
Thank God it's cold outside. We have good insulation in the house because it was pretty warm.
All right, so this is tray number 1. They're all at like slightly different times.
Tony Neeson joined.
Hi, Tony. How are you? I haven't seen you in a long time.
What do you say to Tony?
I don't know, what do I say?
Sincerely or kindest regards?
Kindest regards. Okay. we got to get back to business, please.
Okay, let's
Can
get
you
back to
focus?
business.
Okay. All right, so this is our first tray that we piped, and we know it's ready for 2 reasons. One is, you see how the color is matte now? It's not shiny. There's no shiny appearance.
Okay. No shiny appearance. Got it.
All right,
it's getting late for you, isn't it? Yeah.
The other reason we know is this. You can get close now, okay? So when I touch here, you see how I create a little dent?
Yes.
But it's not wet. It didn't come on my finger. I created a little dent. You see that?
You ruined that macaron.
No, I didn't.
No?
No.
Okay.
Anyway.
But there is a little dent there, but it didn't come off in your finger.
Right. It didn't come off on my finger.
It almost has a little, you could say a little film on it, right?
It's a skin. Exactly.
Skin.
It's exactly.
Skin, film, yeah.
Skin.
Hey, where's Smales?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You stole Judge Smales?
Let's get back to business. Let's get back to business.
Yeah.
Okay, so this tray is ready. All right, I'm going to put it into the oven. Remember, convection for me, 315 was perfect. You might want to play around the temperature 5 degrees up or down.
So some would be 320, some might be 310.
Right.
What does that matter? The oven itself?
Right. So
why don't you just get a internal? Why don't you get a standalone?
Right. Still, even if you calibrated the temperature, which I do recommend, you would still need to find out what is the right temperature for your macarons to bake at. It could be 5 degrees up or down.
But you make it seem so personal. So
it is,
how about this?
because
how about this? Maybe does humidity?
I need to put these in the oven.
Okay,
yes,
go.
I was about to say that, but
right.
yes, humidity plays a factor in.
Okay.
The oven is you're never going to calibrate it down to the degree.
Right.
Okay, there are parts of your oven that might be hotter, the back or the front. I do not turn my pans around, by the way. I used to do that, but I don't see the point in that anymore.
Well, when you open the door, you lose so much heat.
Right, and
it's
then
crazy.
Then the convection actually keeps it pretty stable.
Gotcha.
All right, so we're going to put these in the oven, right? Okay, all right, let me just put these in the oven. I'm going to tell you a couple more. You don't need to follow me. Everybody knows what an oven looks like. I'm just going to put them in here and set. And I'm going to put these actually for 14 minutes.
14.
And this is where my rack is, by the way, in the middle of the oven.
Okay.
Okay, so, and then we're going to watch them rise later. Okay, so, all right, I wanted to tell you guys more about the colors, okay? All right, so now what I like for red, yellow, I like the Amera colors.
This isn't just red, it's super red.
Right, that's super red. This is also yellow, that's nice.
Super red won't produce the Alabama macarons you're trying to make, Debbie.
Yes, it will.
Sorry. No.
Why not?
Because that's more of a burgundy color.
Oh, okay.
Crimson.
All right,
actually.
anyway.
They're called the Crimson Tide.
right.
Silly me.
So that's my red and yellow preferences. Now, like I said before, my preferences for the darker side of the rainbow, violets, greens, blues, is the sugar art. That's the only thing I'm going to use for the sugar art. Is for those colors. So in my experience, like trying to make purple, green, blue was a disaster using gel coloring. So powder coloring works much better for me, at least, with my home oven. Now, I've had people who are professional pastry chefs tell me that in their commercial ovens, they can use gel coloring for everything. That didn't work for me. So after much experimentation with many different powder food coloring,
you know it, sister.
the Sugar Art Master Elite are fantastic for bright, vivid colors. Okay?
Bright, vivid colors. What is it? Sugar Art.
The Sugar Art. It's on Instagram as the Sugar Art.
Hey, Debbie's saying, why not use powder for everything? Which is a fair question. Very smart question.
Excellent question.
Yes.
Powders tend to be more expensive.
Aha.
Now, I will say this. since discovering the sugar art, you saw I used a 1/16 of a teaspoon. So since I discovered them, I am pretty much going more toward using powder for everything.
Because it's not more expensive when you use such a tiny amount.
When I used to use other brands of powder food coloring, I would be using like 2 or 3 grams. It was ridiculous. This is like, all right, now, what else did I...
You are really giving them big ups.
They're nice people.
Oh, that's good to have nice people.
Very nice people.
It's nice to be nice to the nice.
Oh God.
Who said that?
Do you ever stop talking?
Who said it's nice to be nice to the nice?
I don't know. Can we talk
Frank Burns.
Okay.
Jeez.
All right. Let me see if there's anything I wanted to tell you guys. I thought would be important. Thermometer, piping bag, blah blah blah. Oh, okay. So just another shout out is this recipe that I was using is on my blog, thecakedoctor.com. But it is adapted from Bouchon Bakery Cookbook, which I love. But I have changed it a little bit to my preference. Okay.
So you've tweaked it.
I've tweaked
which everybody tweaks.
Yes, everybody tweaks.
Of course. People cooking with a commercial oven, the people cooking with a non-commercial oven are not going to get the same results. Right. So you have to tweak. Maybe.
Okay. So we'll sign off. Okay.
So we'll sign off.
All right. Okay. So good night.
Okay. We'll take pictures.
All right. Good night. Good night.
Where's Judge Smales? Tell me right now. Give him to me.
Okay. Good night.
Kidnapped victim, Judge Smales. Kidnapped by Sally.
All right.
You sing the song from Singing in the Rain?
No.
What?
No.
Moses supposes his toes are roses, but Moses supposes erroneously. Can you sing that?
No.
Moses supposes his toes are roses, but Moses supposes erroneously.
Okay. All right. Good night.